What's up guys, it's Sam in a field with Neil's Trek Top Fuel. You might recognise this bike from a video that we did before where we unboxed it and talked about the upgrades that Neil was going to do to this bike. We've had a few shouts in the comments, people wanting a follow-up, so here it is. Let's take a closer look and see what those upgrades are. So starting down here, I'm just going to say Trek are known for a lot of things, mostly good, some bad. One thing that's definitely in the bad category is the tyres that they spec on the bike. People don't seem to like them. So, you know, moving on from that, obviously Neil swapped his tyres out. He's a man of fine taste, and he's gone for the tried and tested Minion DHF on the front, DH falling over, DHR at the back. I've seen a lot of stuff online about the DHF stands for downhill freeride and DHR stands for downhill race, and it doesn't matter which end of the bike you put them on. Like, seriously Google it, you'll find loads of like Reddit threads, people talking about this stuff. I went on the Maxxis website and they say specifically DHF is for the front, DHR is for the rear, and if you mix them up and put them the other way around, you're probably going to die. So there you go. Drivetrain, whilst we're down here, I mean, he's kept that the same. You can see it's got the 1x12 Shimano XT drivetrain that it came spec'd with originally. This is the Top Fuel 9.8 XT, so that's what you get on this. No need to change any of this stuff. Like, it's an absolute workhorse. It does everything you want it to do. It shifts perfectly. So obviously, like I said, Neil's kept that on because why would you put anything else on it? Moving forward to the centre of the bike, Neil's got these super rad E-Clap BMX pedals, man, and like you'll see some close-ups of these, but they're a really like solid pedal. They feel really nice. I don't think they're the lightest pedal around, but like I wouldn't imagine that they're ever going to fail. I mean, they're for BMXing, so come on, man. Those things go through some serious hammer. I really like these pedals. A lot of grip on them. Really stable platform. Looking here at the shock, this is one of the major upgrades that Neil made to this bike. It did come with a RockShox Ultimate originally, and he's upgraded it to a RockShox Super Deluxe Ultimate because, like I say, Neil he likes the finer things in life, you see. So what is it about this shock that makes it so super? I mean, apart from the fact that shocks with piggybacks on them look way more rad than ones without, my understanding is that this one's got both high speed and low speed compression settings, as well as your normal damper settings as well. I'm not a pro on talking about shocks, so I'm not going to try and make it sound like I am, but basically this one has more adjustability. It allows you to fine tune your ride even more than the other shock. So before we dive down and look at the fork, let's have a look and see what Neil has changed here. I don't think he mentioned these in the original video, but I can tell you that he's got a one-up components stem and a one-up components carbon bar as well. One-up makes some really good stuff, man. Those guys, I think they're based in Canada. They make really cracking stuff. They made that tool that I love talking about, the EDC. But yeah, shouts to one-up, man. This is a really beautiful little setup here. And also, this is the Bontrager Verse Elite Trail saddle. So you might have seen the Verse saddle around. This is the trail version of it. It's like a little bit shorter, really comfortable, really good looking saddle. Would want one of those on my bike, but they're not within my price range at this point in time. Let's have a look at this fork then. On first glance, I couldn't tell much of the difference between the Pike Select Plus that originally was on this bike and the Pike Ultimate that's on it now, except for the fact that one of them's silver. I had to call Neil, and I've been doing a little bit of research on the internet. The two main differences are this Ultimate has a machined crown, which looks lovely. I presume it's probably a little bit stiffer as well. And the other thing that it's got is it's got RockShox buttercups, which are basically, this is what I've found out, little rubber noggins that live on the end of the damper and the spring shaft, and they reduce trail chatter and vibration by 20%. Proven by science, apparently. But the main thing is, from Neil's mouth, he says that this fork is noticeably better to ride on. Like, he much prefers it. The other thing he's done with this fork is he's changed the spring shaft. He's put a 140mm spring shaft in it, so he's increased the front travel of this bike by 10mm. All of this adds up to, for me, a bike that feels closer to the Fuel EX than the kind of cross-country oriented bike that I think it was originally, or at least that's what it feels like to me. I'm not a pro. It's just having ridden both this bike and my Fuel EX, this one actually feels closer to my EX now to ride than it did before. It's more of a bike that I would like to ride rather than like a short travel cross-country job. So yeah, pretty cool, man. I like his upgrades. I like his bike. We're going to do some riding on it and see how it feels. Ah.